No, I'm reading the chat. I'm just so confused. The chat room is so confusing to me. You know? The chat room is so confusing to me because I look at the chat room and it's just people who are so mad that they're watching Marvel. Like, there's like at least, I don't know, 30 people in the chat who are like fucking Marvel. And they're just typing in the chat, right? They're making Firebrand's noise. They're just like fucking typing in the chat. They've been here since the analysis started like 20 minutes ago. So they've been watching Marvel for 20 minutes now. I'm just really confused as to why they're still here. It's so confusing, right? Like, people spend all their time and effort disliking. If you don't like the game, then why are you watching it? It's so confusing to me. Like, if I don't like anything, I just don't watch it. I don't understand. It's just so strange. The strangest thing to me, too, is that it was like the best example of this was SCR, right? You guys saw Higashi. He played in Marvel, and he played in Street Fighter. And he had a Wins Dragon Ball shirt on, right? And I thought that was the perfect representation of people on the internet who hate Capcom. Because he has a shirt that says Wins Dragon Ball, right? So he's obviously a Dragon Ball fan. But he was in the Street Fighter tournament, and he was in the Marvel tournament, and he made it to winners finals of his Marvel pool and his Street Fighter pool. And I'm just like, this is everybody on the internet who's like, yeah, fucking, I can't wait for Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is going to be the greatest thing of all time. Fuck all these other fighting games. And then they watch 30 hours of Street Fighter a week. It's so strange. Higashi obviously is not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about people on the internet. It's so strange to me. I don't know. If I don't like something, I don't watch it. It's just really, really strange to me. You know? It's like they spend all their time and effort watching a video game that they say they hate. It's so weird. Nobody here is going to tell you that Marvel Infinite hasn't messed up almost everything besides the gameplay. I don't know what else you want. Hate watching is a thing. It doesn't make sense. I have much better use of my time than watching something I dislike. Maybe they don't. I don't know. It's so weird. It's honestly the strangest thing to me. $50 JDCR and Saint will make grand finals at Tekken Premier event. You know what's funny is I mentioned a while ago, I said, I wonder how long until people get bored of those two being in every grand finals, right? I was like, I wonder how long it will be until people get tired of it. And they said, nah, man, Tekken is the greatest fighting game of all time. I'll never get bored of watching Saint and JDCR in grand finals. And I said, cool, man. They're really incredible players, so I'm glad that that's the case. And then the amount of people who were pissed when they were in grand finals again, I was like, damn, I'm sorry. It was so funny because, like, I'm rooting for them, but it's just, you know, it's interesting. You get bored of Saint, but you don't get bored of JDCR. Ah, you don't like watching Jack? Is that what it is? Yeah, I think Tekken is I think it's probably the best, most spectator-friendly fighting game out right now. But yeah, I agree. It can get a bit boring to have only the same players play over and over and over. It just depends on who you're rooting for and what you're interested in, right? I'm sure if you're a Jack player, you're loving it. You're like, I get to watch Saint in the grand finals every tournament. But it was just really funny to me. I mentioned that a while ago, and everybody was pissed at me. They're like, how could you dare? How did you dare even suggest that we would ever get tired of watching the greatest fighting game of all time besides Guilty Gear, Tekken 7, ever, even if it is the two best Korean players in the world playing in every tournament? How could you dare ever suggest we would think that was boring? And then like a week later, it's like resident sleepers in the chat everywhere. I'm like, all right, well, I just asked a simple question. Besides Guilty Gear? Yeah, I mean, that's how people on the internet are, right? It's like a guy who's like, Guilty Gear and Tekken 7 are the best fighting games of all time. In the background, there's like a poster of Guilty Gear, and it's like slightly torn off over a Street Fighter poster. He's like trying to tape it up so no one can see that he's secretly a Street Fighter fan. That's what like the average person is like, right? They're sitting there watching a Street Fighter stream, and like someone walks in their room, and they're like, they try to like hide the monitor, you know? They're like, oh shit, I almost got caught watching Street Fighter. Whew. They like open up a Mikado Guilty Gear stream. That's what they have to do. They have like their Street Fighter 5 shirt on and they rip it off for their Dragon Ball shirt. Like, that's like all of them. It's like they get caught watching porn. Oh, almost caught me watching Street Fighter. Whew. Just, just in time for Guilty Gear finals. Oh man, that's too good. That's probably what happens, right? You imagine like somebody in the background leaves their mic on and they hear the Street. Is that Street Fighter right here in the background? No, man, I would never be watching Street Fighter. You never catch me watching no Street Fighter.